All right, welcome back to the Underdog Wealth Academy. Today I'm with Ty Fox, my dear friend. Ty, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I've been excited for this one. So Ty, I'll intro Ty real quick, but Ty's the VP of Sales at NUSUN Power, big time solar up and coming company. You guys have been in business for how many years now?
We segregated in 2021.
Okay,
So yeah, 5 years.
cool. And Ty is responsible for 850 sales reps. So he is a master at attracting talent, retaining talent, putting on revenue. How many teams will you guys have deployed this year?
About 20.
20 teams.
Yeah.
All throughout the country.
Mostly in California.
Okay.
Yeah, we specialize in what we know best. So
Cool.
we're deploying basically everybody out there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the timing for this podcast is money because I have the same role as you, run a sales program, and we have a bunch of reps shipping out to market.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
It's that time of year. And I think my program's probably a little bit more seasonal than yours. I know you guys have a little bit more of a year-round component to yours. And so mine is like we all ship out. We're about 250 reps that are all shipping out over the next 3-4 weeks. And so anyway, I want to go deep on sales, leadership, recruiting, just kind of all the above our industry in this podcast, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, let's run it.
But would love to get into just briefly before just kind of your upbringing, where you grew up, some of those types of details. And then that'll kind of lay the foundation for the door-to-door stuff.
Okay. It's funny because we've known each other for like 12 years.
Yeah.
Right. Got our start. We were at BYU and
Both at Vivint.
yeah, both at Vivint.
Yep.
And I went and served like where I'm from. I'm originally from Lehigh, right? My parents came from basically a farming town mixed with military.
Okay.
So we were pretty, you're up early, you're hardworking.
Yeah.
Like that was my grind coming up.
Cool.
Dad owned his own construction company. So we were just cleaning the job sites and we were just dirty growing up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
And
You have some brothers, right?
yeah, got 2 brothers,
Okay.
1 sister. I'm the
Okay.
oldest. And those dudes grind too. Like there's just nose to the grindstone family, you know?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, personality may be lacking a little bit, but we make up for it in work ethic.
I've always seen that, dude. I've always seen that in you. Like for as long as I've known you, it's always been like, I feel like sometimes I'm walking into the gym, you're walking out, and I'm like, geez, dude, Ty's got that screw loose, you know? Like I'm here at 6:30, Ty's walking out. I'm like, come on, dude, this guy's a hard worker. So
Maybe the screw is loose, but hopefully that's a good thing.
oh, it's a great thing,
We'll
dude.
find out.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I mean, discipline's freedom, and you've gotten a lot of results and had a lot of success. And so I think, yeah, I've always like, if there's a word that comes to my mind when I have always observed you, I think you've always been a very disciplined person. So I remember we both did it. I did 2 years at Vivint, and then obviously we don't need to get into the story today, but I left at some point. But I remember we did a blitz. We went on a blitz together
Vegas.
with a couple of your reps, and
Yeah.
I think oftentimes people hear like the highlights of my thing, but I had a couple good years at Vivint. I mean I sold 125 accounts my second year, but I remember on that blitz worked for 2 or 3 days straight, and I bageled. Didn't get a single deal. Drove to Vegas, made zero money, came home. It's like there's some lowlights too, you know.
Yeah, it's like especially on the social media podcast platforms, it's like, hey, it's all good. No,
Yeah.
it's not all good.
Yeah, became a millionaire young, and it's like we don't talk often enough about the weekend trips to Vegas where you work 17 hours and make no money and come home with your tail between your legs, you know.
Yeah, that trip, it was wild because my brother got in a motorcycle accident literally on that trip.
Oh, I didn't remember that. No.
Yeah, literally like broke his back. And so my family was blasting us with
Wow.
images and stuff, like unconscious in the hospital. And my other little brother is out there with us. And I still got to go produce,
Oh my
then
gosh.
drive back, you know?
Yeah.
But I remember I was talking to my other brother about that not too long ago.
That's
You know?
crazy. Yeah.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been 10 years, man. Long time. So
That's kind of depressing and
it is
exciting.
crazy. Yeah. I know. It's like we're working with people that their age doesn't change a whole lot, and mine keeps changing, you know?
Yeah,
It's like
a few more wrinkles and gray hairs, but we still feel young.
Yeah. But in some ways it's beautiful because when you're working with young people all the time, you still feel super young. So cool. So you went on a mission.
Yep.
Where'd you go?
New York City.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister served there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. New York North, I think.
Yeah, that's where I was at.
Oh yeah, cool. So she got like city plus some of the like sprawling, cool, wealthy,
Yeah.
spread out stuff.
Yeah, I was Spanish speaking, so it wasn't quite the wealthy side, but yeah, I spent a lot of time in Harlem, the Bronx.
Yeah.
And when
Not
I got
the wealthy side.
well, we were in Connecticut. There's some crazy money in Connecticut,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of Latinos that live up there. I love
Okay.
those people.
Yeah, way cool.
But Yeah, dude, I loved that culture. New York City is still my favorite city in the world. And my wife and I go back every year just
Cool.
to live it in, and the food, everything you couldn't take in as a missionary,
Yeah,
we do now.
that's cool.
But when I got back to BYU, my plan was to go back on Wall Street.
Mm.
That was my game plan. It's like, hey, I just came back to Utah. I don't want to go the construction route or the farming route or whatever. Like I grew up.
Sure, yeah.
I want to go back to Wall Street.
And your mission was a big part of that, just because you got
Yeah.
to be in that ecosystem and see, man, there's a lot of money here.
Oh, it was. I had some buddies that had went on a mission there and then came back and started working there, and they went through the school grind. They came to BYU or what other places, and when they went back, their starting salary was good. Cost of expenses and living there was crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I remember talking to my dad after I got back. It's like, I want to go on Wall Street so I can go make 200 grand. And I was like, he's like, well, how much do you have to work? I'm like 100-hour weeks, but you train me. That's not a problem.
Right.
Like we've done this our whole
Yeah,
life.
I can go work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the outlook. And it actually segued into my door-to-door career because I was talking to all my mentors at the time, guys that owned a lot of businesses, well-to-do finance banks, people out there in Connecticut, people here at home. And I hit them all up saying, hey, I need to go find a way to separate myself. I can study.
Yeah.
I can put in my nose to the grindstone when it comes to books and all that. That's not a problem. I need to find other ways to go separate myself away from everybody if I'm going to go trade on Wall Street, because that's a hustle.
Yep.
And every one of them told me you need to get into sales. And that's what segued my intro into door to door.
So initially it was like a training ground to learn a skill set that could help you on Wall Street.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people would say that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like I was poor at the time too, so money sounded nice too.
Yeah.
Right?
You're a little desperate financially.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to my name, right?
Yep.
Poor as a church mouse. But it was that the exposure and that experience that I wanted to go separate. Had a good year my first year, went and stuck around another year the second year. And it's kind of over time adjusted my mindset, got married. And as I started to continually do better, I was still in school at the same time.
At BYU.
Yeah. And I'm on my fourth year at BYU, just made like 450 grand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Like just like buying real estate, businesses on the side. And I'm still grinding to go make 200 grand a year on Wall Street.
Right.
And it just kind of got to the mental shift was there. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it was almost like you were preparing for a race, and then you come up for air, and you're like, wait, I've already outrun that race. Like, yeah.
When
I'm
lifestyle,
preparing for something that's like not as optimal, or the opportunity is not even equal to like the current arena that I'm in. So
yeah. Well, it happened by accident. It's not like any of us got into this game thinking we're going to stay here.
No, I was like apologetic still about being in the industry 3 years in.
Yeah.
Like it really.
It's my year last year
Yeah.
again. It's my last year again.
Yeah.
Been there. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, at some point the flip switched, I think, for both of us. So for you, that was 3-4 years in, you're kind of like almost done at BYU at that point, making incredible money, double what you'd make on Wall Street. And then at some point that flip switched for you. So maybe talk about that and then kind of like what happened from there.
Well, I was talking to some of my friends that were on Wall Street, and I'm still good friends with them today.
Yeah.
And they've scaled and done really good now, but I mean, it's been a decade. But when I was starting to look at the opportunity cost of, okay, it's really hard on the family living in Manhattan, grinding. Like I won't see my wife. My best friend growing up lives out there.
Yeah.
And like salt of the earth dude. But if you look at our careers, they're very different places. And I wouldn't trade my lifestyle for any of my friends. However, I know that that's a hard pill to swallow because we've done a lot of hard work.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Door to door is not easy.
No.
But when we started to look, say, hey, I do this like 8 months out of the year, because the biggest fallacy I'd say is in door to door is, hey, come work for 4 months so that way you don't have to work for the rest of the year. Unless you're in management, then you work year round.
Right.
Like that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But all of us got in for
we bought that. That was the thing that we bought initially, was that like, oh, I'll do this for the summer. It'll pay for school. I think that's the entry point for a lot of people.
Yes. And if that's where it stops, awesome.
Yeah.
Like we would have, I'm assured that we would have figured out other avenues if that what would happen. But here we are.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, when we started looking at our setup, like no debt, rentals, like passive income coming in every single month, buying businesses and helping other people. And ultimately, we just had a mature conversation. My wife and I, like, this is something we need to go dive into for another 5 years.
Yeah.
maybe don't set the 10-year goal,
Mm-hmm.
set the 1, 2, 3-year goal,
Right.
and just go expand that. And then who knows, 12 years down the road, you could be in the same situation or similar.
Yeah, I
situation
think 10 years, dude, there's a certain, it's good to have like a plan, life plan, down the road type plan, but like at some point, take life 1 year at a time. You know, like if the opportunity is amazing this year, then go get after it. And setting even like 5 years is as long out as I would even consider setting goals. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like
If it's too far
things
past that,
change, macroeconomics change, opportunities change. So I think I like that. And I would say for us, it was very similar, dude. It was 3-4 years in. It was like I was a junior at BYU, had my first year where I made not 450K, but close, you know, kind of on my way to that. Bought a fourplex south of campus, moved in it, rented out the other units. And I just saw like, up until that point, it was very much like I'm doing this to support my school experience to then be able to go get a job. And
Yep.
when I zoomed out, it was like, wait, what is the job that like I'm preparing for, air
Yeah.
quotes, right?
Yep.
And it's like, this kicks the crap out of that. And so maybe I should just stop being apologetic and just like lean into this thing, go all in.
Oh yeah. We become so delusional in our job.
Yeah.
And that's where, look, when you're in the thick of it, even when the money's coming in, it's like, bro, this is tough.
Yeah.
Like anybody that tells you door-to-door is easy, don't listen to them. Like
Yeah.
it is a grind.
Right.
But it's a good trade-off. At the end of the day, it's like, what are you doing it for? You're grinding, but you went and got into real estate. Similar, like that was the whole game plan. Is like, hey, how do I go knock doors, buy doors, knock doors, buy doors?
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you have that mentality, it actually extends the lifetime of a door-to-door person, because door-to-door sales is freaking hard. But when you have this mentality of, I'm going to use this as a vehicle to feed investments so that when I'm 30 and I come up for air, I've got all these assets and investments that I can show for all the years of sacrifice and hard work.
Yeah.
And whether it's door-to-door or Wall Street, I would argue similar to you that this is it's actually a couple months of that, but it's not 12 months of it.
Yeah.
It's 12 months of work, but we're like farmers. It's like the summers when you go really get after it and work longer days. But the lifestyle is it's imbalanced for a season. One thing I was going to ask you about, I know you on your social media, you do these finance Fridays. Well, I think we connect a lot on just the door-to-door space could really use some financial literacy, and people should be using door-to-door as a vehicle to make money to then go in and get into investing. And you and I have always connected on that.
Yeah.
Maybe just speak to your philosophy around investing. I know you own a bunch of rental properties. What else are you investing in? What else have you been investing in? I also saw a video of you recently saying that weekly you have like $1,000 pulled out of an account and put into the S&P 500. So I just love some nuggets for the listeners on investing.
Yeah, I think that first off, when you first get into door-to-door, the first thing you need to take care of is your emergency fund, right? Because regardless of how much money you're making, you want to have that peace of mind to operate just in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what the ROI is. If you're stressed for cash, you're going to be handicapped on your production.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at, we get paid so well from our performance.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that infringes on that performance, whether it's stress, sleep, whatever it is, handicap in any way, shape, or form, will be a negative ROI. So take care of the emergency fund just so that way you know, hey, I don't have to lean on a credit card. I don't have to lean on anything that way. Then start getting into investing.
And for you, does that mean like 6 to 12 months of like reserves put aside?
It's adjusted over time.
Yeah,
it's a lot more
sure.
now than it was
Sure.
when we first started.
Of course.
But it's ultimately, if something came up where like an emergency with the car, probably like 5 to 10 grand is probably where I'd start.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to have a lot of money to get into real estate when you first start. Like you got into yours when it was a fourplex, I'm assuming FHA
Yep.
or
Uh-huh.
okay, similar. Yeah, mine was the exact same. A duplex just south of campus, and spent $7,800 buying it.
Yeah.
I did so much homework when I was at BYU. I was probably not the best student. Instead of like paying attention in class,
Yeah, you were on the MLS.
I was just repeating. I was just
that Utah real estate app. I was
Yeah.
always just like, it was like social media for
Yeah.
me. Like, what am I using this year's 40 grand that I have laying around
Yeah.
for? Yeah.
It was like any information systems, not paying attention to anything. And I'm just like, refresh. But I got so good at the math to be able to pencil something. I looked at thousands of deals to where I knew when I found the one, I didn't even have to go look at it. I text my wife in class, like, hey, I just bought a house. Because we were already pre-approved. We were looking.
Yeah.
Text my realtor, get it. And he sent everything over. And during class, I bought a duplex.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Just because I ran the numbers so much, right? And what I bought it for $7,800. We sold it 2 years ago, and I netted about $200,000 out of it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you just need to trust in that timing, because I invested $7,800. We moved in one side, then we moved out for the summer.
Yep.
And then
the 20x return.
Yeah. Then 6 years later, all of a sudden I make $200,000 off of investing $7,800, not including the tax savings or the cash flow. And we put that money into other stuff. How long would people work for $200,000? I guess net like $190,000, right? People would work an entire summer or years to go make $190,000, but we just leveraged what we knew, and it didn't cost a lot, but we still lived really poor. We were making good money at the time. We were making six figures, but we still lived really cheap. We still used Vivint meal cards and stuff that way, right? But it allowed us to just leverage our time. And so, getting into real estate was really good. I spend $1,000 a week. I've done that for the last about 6 years, just going into a low cost index. So if it's going up or down, I act like it's phantom money. Like I don't look at that account maybe once every other month.
Is that a muscle you've had to build over time, that investing muscle, or has it always been, are you wired in a way where that's always been kind of easy for you to invest?
I'm wired that way. Yeah. My parents did a good job at having financial literacy taught, or at least enveloped in the house. And so mom was always into investing. And so for me, it was really early on. My first summer, I remember I started just investing after my first summer, because until then I had no money. Yeah. Right. And then it's increased and increased. And so, from that point on, I just kept the muscle there. But it's also good knowing, like, when you can go develop the excitement of, like, someone will go buy a car. Dude, I love cars. I love watches. I love shoes. I love that stuff. I get way more excited seeing $100,000 leave the bank account for an investment. Yeah. It's fun. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's that way, but every single time I have the hit on my bank account, 1,000, 5,000, $100,000, $500,000, whatever it is, I get excited about that more than I do about a down payment on a car or a watch or anything that way.
Yeah, I would say I feel the same way. And I think that, like, and I don't know if I'm wired that way or if I've kind of had to build the muscle over time, but I think either way, it's just this, like, it's this idea of one of these honestly improves my life and buys me back time in my future, and the other one doesn't. Yeah. And, like, whether you have to trick yourself into feeling excited to see it go out of the account, or whether you're just wired that way, it's something I can't emphasize enough how important that is. And I've always admired that you've been disciplined in that, in that regard. Kind of shifting gears, but like Dave Ramsey talks about how your most powerful wealth building tool is actually your income. Yeah. So I'd love to talk about just like, obviously you've been able to participate in a lot of that stuff because you're a beast. You've attracted reps. You've run a lot of teams. You've had really big summers personally yourself, back in the day. So let's just talk. I want to talk sales, leadership, recruiting, kind of all the above, especially this time of year. I think it's super relevant stuff. Yeah. Sales first. So like thinking of your, how many summers did you do knocking either for Vivint or in solar? 8. Okay. So lots of summers. I did about the same. Yep. So maybe one or two nuggets just on the mentality around it, that come to, that come to your mind. Reps driving out this summer, maybe first year or pretty early still in the space. If you could go back and speak to yourself just through the sales lens, not leadership, not any, just a simple kind of rep that's going out to try to produce this summer to go lay those first couple bricks financially for him or herself. What would be some thoughts that come to your mind?
The first thing that I would hack is go be the hardest worker in the room. That is something that is 100% within your control. Can you show up on time? Can you stay out late? Do you know what door you're knocking first? How are you planning your day? There are things that you're going to get rocked with throughout the day that are completely outside of your control. So don't worry about those. But there are things 100% within your control that are tangible that you can go focus on that will give you better dividends over time. Yeah. Right? It's like, hey, I want to be the first one dropped off in my car group and I want to be the last one picked up. That extra, let's say 30 minutes every single day over 116 knocking days is, what is that, 58 days? Yeah. right?
Compounds.
Or 58 hours. So if you were to go divide that out over an 8-day period, you just bought yourself an entire week. One thing that we fail to understand is, like, you know this, I know this, most reps don't make the most money their first 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They make it the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So even if you're just buying yourself more time by knocking earlier and knocking later, you just bought yourself a week. That compounds towards the end and not towards the first or the front.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this quote this morning that you don't have to win, but you must learn. Like this idea that like your first couple weeks as a first year rep, you don't need to be balling out, but you've got to be learning. And to your point, if you're working your guts out and you're getting extra reps in, you're learning at a faster pace. And then the ROI, to your point, might come on that later in the summer as that ramp takes effect. So I think that's a really healthy thought for, reps. And that can apply to even a second or third year rep. Like sometimes it takes a little time to knock the rust off. And, that first couple weeks, weather's, heating up. It just takes a little time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, like, getting back to the work ethic thing, I don't know a lot of people that built their wealth off of work ethic, but it was the foundation that allowed them to scale. And so when you first get out there, you don't know anything about anything, right? You don't know anything about solar or pests or alarms or whatever it is. And you really don't know how to go talk to people. You might be awkward. It might be strange, but you can go control that work ethic. Your skill set will increase over time, but your work ethic should retain a 10 out of 10. As your skills get better and as you start to develop, the magic starts to happen when you have this hybrid where your work ethic is your 10 out of 10, and that stays that way from May until August or even postseason or whatever. But your skill set, it might be a 2 out of 10 at first. But your work ethic, the more repetitions you get, the more doors you knock, the more conversation you have, you're just going to increase that skill set much faster. So that way you get through that learning curve. I remember it was like the first week of June, my first summer, I finally woke up with the confidence. I don't know where my deal is. I don't know who it is. I don't know what street it's on. I have no idea. But if I put in 8 hours today, I know there's a deal there. I don't know where it's at because my skills are now to the point where I can get 1. And then when it got to the point I was getting 1, then I could go get 2. Then I could go get 3, right? But you have to get over that learning curve. It's almost like a light bulb moment. And when it hits hard. Where it's like, hey, I know if I work 8 hours today, I make $600. I know I make $1,000 or whatever it is. That's how it was back when we first started at Vivint. It's a little different now, but when that clicked for me, I wish it would have clicked earlier, but it clicks for everyone at a different time. But if you have that 10 out of 10 work ethic, it will happen to you faster than if you don't.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love it. No, I love that thought. I think that there's this thing it's like the valley of despair almost, where like there's all this excitement coming into the job, and you're in the room getting trained by all your people, and you're going to these big events and the rah and all this stuff, right? Like the pre-summer stuff. I'm going to go make $100,000 this summer. The skills aren't there yet though, but like you're excited, you feel motivated, and then you get out there and it's like the job is hard. And so there's this like valley of despair. There's this build up. And then it's like day one, you get out there and you're just getting your teeth kicked in. And it's just this massive drop in valley of despair. And so I think that when you've done it before and you have receipts, it gets easy to climb out of that valley really quickly. And even like the day of, you can just kind of pull yourself out of it because you have the skill set to go pull yourself out of it quickly. But what's hard is when you don't have the skills yet. That's why I think there's so much a drop off in our space, is that valley exists for most people. It's just kind of inevitable. You get punched in the mouth because the job is just hard enough. And so then the question to your point is like, how do you pull yourself out of the valley? Well, the truth is when you don't have the skills yet, it's work ethic. Like you have the work will pull you out. And then at some point you'll get skilled enough to where you can now lean on your skills, but you can't lower work ethic at some point when the skills have increased. So I think you're right. Like that magic happens when you stay at a 10 with your work ethic, but then your skills ramp.
Yeah.
There.
Like, and we've seen it even on the flip side too, where there's some reps that will go and earn that skill set.
Yeah.
But now that they're at 10 out of 10 in their skill set, they now start to let their work ethic taper off and dip.
Yeah.
You also don't want to have that track record either. Those are the reps that usually stick around for 1 or 2 years and then find out something else, and they couldn't quite hack it.
Yeah. And I've seen the people that have a hard time getting into leadership, they're in that category.
100%.
Because it's really hard to attract it's hard to earn respect and have respect when you're that guy that's the most skilled person in the room, but everyone knows that you don't like do the unsexy stuff.
Yeah. It's like no one wants to go follow a facade leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to go create, like you said, create that stack of receipts. So that way you can go showcase to everybody at school or at your high school or whatever saying, hey, you're no more skilled than I am. You're